You get to show up authentically, knowing that when you do that, the people that are meant to pick you, they're gonna see you. They're gonna want you. You've just been trying out for the wrong things.
It's not enough to just be an architect, a creative professional. The real question is, what are you doing? How are you making an impact if you don't know how to answer that question, or you feel too overwhelmed, stressed out, or burned out to even think about it? I'll help you get beyond the status quo trap in our profession to get inspired again. If you're ready, let's get architecting.
Hey Bright Lights, it's Angela. I am so glad that you could join me here for this episode of the Architecting Podcast, because I am talking about something that a lot of us have such good intentions around, but get so wrong, and we wound ourselves, trap ourselves into feeling like victims, and end up sabotaging our career. I am talking about pick me energy. And if you are not all up on the jargon, a pick me is often a term ascribed to women, but I'm willing to broaden that definition because I think we all do this sometimes. Characteristics of this are priding yourself as being different. In the traditional definition, it means you try to be different from normative definitions of a woman, but it could also be normative definitions of the it person, the golden boy, the popular girl, right? Means you try very hard not to be overly needy or dependent, but at the same time, you are constantly seeking validation, especially from those you believe are the ones who bestow the approval, the popularity, the golden glow. You want to be known as cool. You want to be seen as somebody who can just hang out with the ordinary people. You got the vibe. And you also tend to downplay your achievements because unless they're super mainstream and aligned with what the cool kids are doing, you're worried that you're going to look different, that you're not going to blend in, that you're going to be seen as the nerd, the dork, the weirdo. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today, is most of us want to be successful. To us, successful has been drilled into our heads since we were little kids, so we don't even know to question it as acceptance. It's checking the boxes on someone else's list, being pleasing to others, being that person who gets picked. Today we're going to unpack why this is not serving you. It's causing you to put a lot of time and a lot of energy into something that isn't going to have a return on that investment for you, while the high dividend traits you have, talents you have, passions you have are lying fallow. A lot of us are ambitious. We got big goals, big dreams, and we know that we can't get there on our own. Our careers rely on getting opportunities, collaborating with others, being leaders. In other words, we rely on other people seeing us, valuing us, and giving us an opportunity. So what's so wrong with being a little ambitious, right? It seems like the pathway to success. If you're just all whatever laissez-faire about your success, or you don't ever try or take an opportunity or put yourself out there, you're probably not really gonna get there. I used to believe this. I was the poster child for pick me. Way back from when I was in grade school and we would play dodgeball or whatever else in gym class, and I was probably the worst possible athlete, and I so desperately wanted to not be the last one chosen who had to go on a team by default. Well, the members of that team kind of rolled their eyes and sighed because they knew I was their biggest liability. Or the girl in middle school who just wanted to be asked to dance when the slow song came on, right? We've all been there. We've all been in that place where we're just like, I want to do this, but it relies on somebody else, and I want them to pick me. And this is such a common theme that it shows up in pop culture in so many ways. We always see it in movies where our heroine, who is the awkward, nerdy girl, finally wins out in the end and gets the opportunity, the guy, the big job, and suddenly is transformed into that girl, the popular girl, the cool girl. And no one saw it, but she always had it. It's fed to us so often, whether you're a man or a woman. I'm speaking from the point of view of a woman because that is my life experience, but this is a universal thing and we buy into it. I had no business wanting to be a cheerleader. I didn't really want to do it, but it was held up to me as a penultimate thing to achieve in grade school, in high school. So what did I think I wanted to do? What did I try out for? Disastrously, I might add. What did I feel disappointed when, of course, they didn't pick me? I was listening to some favorite show tunes of mine over the weekend, and the song I'm Not That Girl from Wicked came to my attention. And if you are familiar with the play, you know that Elphaba, aka the Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz, is the really smart, really ambitious, really good, open-hearted heroine of the story, but she's nerdy, she's green, she's deemed unattractive, and she's paired up with Glinda, who, as we know, is the good witch. She's what everyone imagines as that girl. She's beautiful in the most conventional ways. Everybody wants to be her friend. Everybody just is magnetized to Glinda, regardless of whether Glinda really has anything of true value to offer the world. They both happen to like the same boy. And in the song I'm Not That Girl, Elphaba talks about how she feels a connection, a chemistry, an interest in someone who could be that boy. But in the next sentence, she says, but I'm not that girl. And I think that sums up what so many of us have been led to believe, that the things we want, the things we're not getting, require us to be some way that we are not. So we spend our whole lives trying to be that girl. And when we feel rejected, we feel the pain of not being able to be that girl. But what we overlook, and I really want to bring our attention to, is I may not be that girl. I've never been that girl. Tried to be her lots of times. Been disappointed in myself and others because I was never seen as her. Because I'm not that girl, that's damn right. I'm this girl. And anybody who's interested in any capacity, whether it is in hiring me and working with me and being my friend and being my lover, who wants that girl, isn't for me. And if I am focused on the people that want that girl, I'm never going to be a match for them. And I'm going to not see all the amazing people who want who I am, who want this girl. All the people for who I am exactly what they are looking for. All the people who are going to understand me, resonate with me, value me, because I'm this girl. So I want you to really think about ways in your life that you have set yourself up to fail because you have probably unwitting, I'm not trying to make you feel bad here. Most of this happens because it's indoctrinated into us. This aspirational, that girl persona that you have had held up to you, whatever that looks like. I want you to think about what that is, who that person really is. And again, I'm using the word girl. You can substitute boy, it's fine. And asking yourself if all of the purported virtues of that girl are really a match for you. That girl may be an extrovert and you're an introvert. That girl may be really concerned with issues you could care less about. That girl may dress a way that you don't really want to look or feel comfortable looking. Act a way you don't feel comfortable acting, and not to judge that person, but simply to say how much of that girl, and whatever that means for you, take the time to really think about the different attributes that you've always felt you had to achieve but never quite gotten there. How many of them resonate with you, are true for you, are what you really in your heart of heart want? Or is it something you've been told to want? Is it a measure of success that isn't your measure? Therefore, you have come up short in so many ways your whole life, and you've spent so much time and so much energy being the pick-me person, trying to appeal to people who were never going to resonate with you, never going to vibe with you, never going to want to pick you, and feeling hurt instead of realizing that you're not for everyone. And the sooner you find your people, the sooner you are going to be happy. The sooner you are going to achieve the things that really matter to you, aka success on your terms. You don't have to get validation. You get to show up as yourself. You get to show up authentically, knowing that when you do that, the people that are meant to pick you, they're gonna see you. They're gonna want you. You've just been trying out for the wrong things. Is ambition bad? No, ambition is not bad. Ambition is, however, often misdirected, and we compete with each other then. And we think that we have to somehow get everyone's attention and everyone's approval, no matter the cost to ourselves, to our relationships with others, to our self-esteem. There can also be a little bit of sour grapes in that, deciding that if we can't achieve something, then it isn't worth it. And the people that do it must be wrong and dumb and stupid because we really want it and we can't have it. And that's how we are managing our hurt and our disappointment, is to decide that whatever it is, we're going to just rebel against being that girl because we can't be. And so that girl isn't worth it. And in Wicked, that's very much what we see, right? We see Glinda is portrayed as completely vapid. She's an arrogant, entitled airhead who doesn't seem to deserve the aura and halo that surrounds her. But Elphaba doesn't need to make Glinda the villain in order for her to be the hero. She's just the hero in a different plot. And Glinda, the people who are that girl, hey, many of them may also be playing a role. They read the script, the costume fit, and they are there playing that role because they can. But how many of the people who are that girl really authentically feel good about it? They secretly worried that what they have, whatever they've achieved, is very tenuous and that it requires constant, exhausting approval seeking so they can do it. They can play that part, but it's a house of cards. At any moment, it could collapse. So if you've bought into being that girl, i.e., something that doesn't feel authentic to you, if you have been constantly competing, if you feel hurt, rejected, victimized, it's time to look inside and see your authentic, true, natural value, abilities, interests, and start cultivating them. The people that want that girl are not your people. It's time to stop trying to get picked by them at any cost and start being the only person that you can be. And that's this girl. Love to hear everyone's thoughts on this. I know this is something I've struggled with through my whole life and that I have to constantly remind myself, reel it back, be the person you actually are. You are not for everyone and you shouldn't try to find the people that are the right ones for you and you feel suddenly at ease, things come easier, opportunities come your way, and you don't have to work so hard for them. You don't have to be terrified you're going to lose them if you do or say the wrong thing, because you can't do the wrong thing when you're around the right people, your people. Thank you for listening. Definitely tell me about your own experiences being with pick-me energy and how you've sidelined yourself trying to be that girl instead of this girl. And I will see you next time. Thanks for listening. If you want even more content, head on over to architectingpodcast.com and subscribe to my newsletter and get some great free downloads while you're there. Be sure to follow me on social media. On Instagram at Architecting Podcast, Facebook and LinkedIn pages are Architecting, and the YouTube channel Architecting Podcast. Stay inspired.